Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 20-Sided Archives, Chronicles of Umaria, Chapter 1. I am your Dungeon Master / Archivist, Eli. As always, I am here, joined by Thevin Winterfell, played by Jared.
Howdy.
Chisel Havard, played by Brian.
I got cities.
What?
Hi.
And
Just walk past that.
Redwood of Velico Trevaux, played by Casey.
Oh.
You guys are gonna
Who's a
need
bear
to...
currently?
Brian, you're gonna need to move a little bit closer to your mic, bud. Thank you.
I love having a prehensile mic.
Last where we had left off, our trio, their animal companion, had descended with Nuntius, the Oracle, Venkashali the Cleric, and Helen the Wizard down into the catacombs of the Golden Sanctum, belonging to the Order of the Golden Thread, a group of clerics and oracles that spread their divine wisdom and power throughout the lands of Umaria. It is here, in these catacombs, that they inspected a body recently brought in that was tampered with by the Blight. However, when they were inspecting it, something occurred. Some of them begin to start seeing things that weren't there, and with Redwood's quick thinking, using a dispel magic spell, managed to push whatever these nightmares were away, and the magic that was causing them. Chisel, in his infinite wisdom and wariness as to what exactly was happening, decided to go ahead and take it upon himself to smash the head of the creature, which awoke it, and we had entered combat with this trio and their 3 companions. It was an interesting fight and a tough one in that the hands of the dead began to crawl on their own. The creature ended up developing armor made of stone. And while the hands and the stone-armored creature were working together, something was not working with them that descended upon them within the halls. It is here, now, later on, having left the catacombs and locked it up for the time being, preventing anyone from going inside, that we reconvene with the trio. Nuntius had left to go and speak to Iomide and the fellow oracle heads of each individual branch. Helen decided that she was going to go back to Fastiel in order to speak to her wizarding master who's been training her all this time. Venkashali is the only one with you 3 at the moment, looking pale and a little shaken after the whole incident. So, we pick up with you 3 and Venkashali and Shrub. Shrub looks to all of you and goes, "Okay, so what in the world was that?"
I need him back.
Right, so we got an undead fellow, undead hands, and some kind of wolf that could split itself in 2.
And breathe fire.
Aye, and pretty fighter. Redwood.
You
Can-
can
can I
untransform
just-
now, boss.
Can I just smack Redwood?
I also smack Redwood.
No, I mean with my hammer to get rid
Oh,
of
I'm gonna,
this wild
I'm gonna
snake.
smack him upside the head.
How much health does Redwood's bear form have currently?
Because we leveled up, I wanted 11.
Okay. If you manage to make 11 hit points worth of damage upon Redwood, I would say that sure, you can knock him out of his wild shape. But you first also need to roll to hit. I think...
I think that's gonna hit.
Okay. Now roll your damage, please.
6.
But then adding your...
Plus-
Okay,
12.
yeah. So you managed to knock Redwood, you feel this massive stone hammer with ice in its cracking smack onto your back, and your wild shape practically melts, and you're just standing there like
Slightly encased with ice as well.
you've got a little bit of frost on you that's quickly melting due to the warmer temperatures compared to the outside.
It's important to keep the wild shape up in case we get ambushed again.
I think we're
What
fine
the
here, boss.
fuck?
Just transform back. You'll be fine.
Redwood, I would like you to go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw really quickly. Okay.
Does he get an aneurysm or something?
Take 7 points of psychic damage as being forced out of your wild shape is... Did you rename yourself Bearwood?
I thought I'd have the wild shape for a little bit longer.
Don't forget, your character icon currently on stream is also still a bear.
I'm getting around to changing it. This just happened.
Okay. You take 7 points of psychic damage as you're still kind of in panic mode right now. Normally this wouldn't apply in combat, but in out of combat scenario here I'm gonna make it apply because you put in yourself into the bear wild shape in order to keep yourself safe and protected, in order to have more vitality in the fight. And now you've just been kind of shunted out of it, so that switch from bear Redwood to regular Redwood is like a little jarring to you at the moment, especially since your companion smacked you out of it.
I'm at 5.
You only took 1 damage.
I took 1 from the leftover from the hammer, and then an extra 7 from the psychic.
Ah.
I was at 13 health when we left.
It wouldn't have been so bad if you did not roll a natural 1.
As he's
Venkashali,
kind of standing there woozy, then just kind of looks him in the eyes. Hi, Chisel. I think you hit him a slight too hard there, bud.
he literally just walked away.
Yeah.
Venkashali goes, hold on, and is going to cast a quick healing word on you. So go ahead and regain for me. Con modifier. Go ahead and regain those 7 hit points that you lost. Venkashila looks at you, sees you woozy, and just goes, alright, hold on, just sit down.
I'm going to levitate you later.
Me?
Who, me?
You're never going to see it coming.
I always see it coming.
This
Well,
one.
now you'll see it coming.
I just have to quickly ask, Chisel, did you drop your blind fighting? Or your blind sight?
I can't do that till the next ability score improvement.
Okay.
So, 2 levels.
Or, I mean, your blind sight, did you get rid of that? Because you said you would when you leveled up.
I can't.
Yeah, that's what
It's
he
It requires an ability score
score.
increase.
Oh.
I thought it was a level up. I had to reread it. It's ability score.
Got it. Okay. By the way, everyone now is level 10. Just a quick disclaimer there.
I got a spicy famous bowl from KFC. Not
Nice.
sponsored.
Not sponsored
Oh,
by
yeah.
KFC.
We should give a quick marker of where we are level-wise.
Yeah, so
I'm a 6 druid, 4 wizard.
6 in Blood Hunter, 4 in Ranger.
and
And I'm
then,
the most normal. I'm the 10 in fighter.
These two fucks wanted to go into magic. They were curious about how magic worked in this world, so they threw themselves into it.
The
It's how the
difference,
character would.
difference is Redwood's magic is very methodical. He's actually trying to understand the weave and how it all works. Meanwhile, Thevin's like, I think that works.
Yeah.
Hook.
If I put my blood in a bone, it blows up.
It's like if I make these scribblies here and dot some blood there, I make a bomb.
Quite literally, too, which is hilarious. So...
Just make sure you cross your T's and
dot your eyes. Spicy?
dot your eyes.
Really spicy?
Yeah, it's
Thing
just
is-
sitting on the back of my throat, too.
Thing
All
is,
right.
by not dotting my T's and crossing my I's, that's how we got the bomb.
So, moving on. While Brian is busy dying because of spicy food.
Want water?
He has water.
Mm.
Hydrate, people. Remember to hydrate.
Dear God, is it good?
Moving on. Away from spicy, famous bullshit
No!
KFC. Eventually, you hear footsteps approaching as Nuntius and Iomide round the corner. Iomide looks like she had been roused from sleep. She kind of has like, even though her like eyes and like forehead are covered with like this massive sort of cloth with like the golden eye embroidered in it, you can clearly tell that she had like hastily put on her official clerical robes, because it is night. It is pretty late in the evening at this point. She was mid-sleep when she was roused by Nuntius. And she looks to the three of you and goes, okay. I need a clear rundown of what happened before of everything.
I got it. We were investigating the corpse infected by the blight. People started having weird mental projections of nightmares. Chisel did the smart idea of trying to eliminate the body, which might have been causing an infection. The body came to life. It fought us. Hands were everywhere. And then there was a flaming demon wolf.
Aye, and the flaming demon wolf also attacked the blighted corpse and us. So we don't have no
Oh.
idea where that came from. Yeah,
It also created armor and a weapon out of stone.
aye, yeah, that too. The blighted corpse.
Iomide kind of like
These potatoes.
rubs like her sort of like her jaw and thigh in the moment and goes, okay. We are keeping the catacombs locked for the foreseeable future until all of this is resolved. No one, not even you three, are allowed back down there. It needs to keep anything that may be rising for whatever reason needs to be kept down there. No exceptions. 2. I'm going to have clerics check the barrier around the Golden Sanctum. If there's any breaches, that is bad, not only for the sanctum itself, but for our people. There's too many. We have children and elderly here. No one purposely capable of fighting beyond those who reside here in the temple. 3. Helen returned to Fastial. I want you 3 to go and see if you can speak to her master about coming and aiding us in whatever investigation that needs to happen. I will warn you. Her master is tough to negotiate with. So, pull out whatever stops or do whatever she asks of you in order to make this happen.
Then just kind of pulls an arrow out of his quiver and just
Not,
curiously holds it up.
not killing her or kidnapping.
Said nothing about killing.
It was implied.
I know, what implied was pain.
No pain either.
You said
Mhm.
whatever means necessary.
Fevin, we'll handle
Aye.
it cordially.
At first.
We have restraining magic. We'll use that.
Aye,
If
aye,
needed.
aye, yeah.
Then
I'm all for that.
Kashale leans against his staff and kind of taps it. The lantern that had been a mace returning back to the hanging spot on it as he leans against it. He goes, I'll go with you. It would be better to have more numbers on all of us than for us to continue to travel separately. I understand that you three are strong. I've been dealing with a lot. But it's best if we're all together for this.
I mean, you're good at all the healing stuff, so we'd be glad to have you. I mean, Redwood, he does good work. Yes, you do, Redwood. But it's nice to have someone else to do it too.
Yes, I'd rather not be the only one in charge of everyone here.
I don't mean to sound rude, but could you be able to keep up?
Me?
Yes, you have a limp.
No, Venkashale is the one with the limp. It's Nuntius.
I thought we were talking to Venkashale.
Venkashale was the one who spoke here. He also has a staff, but it has a lantern on it. And then Nuntius has been just using a standard walking stick.
Okay, then never mind.
You got names confoozled.
That's fair.
My mind's a little just hazy.
That's okay. Take your time, buddy. You got it.
Dear God, it's spicy. It's so good.
Anyways, while Brian's busy torturing himself over there.
I am one of the
Fucking
people.
masochist.
Yes. When it
And
comes
advertising.
Anyways. God Christ. Anyhow. Before we get too off track, for the love of God. Then Kashale just kind of looks at all of you. I suggest that we all rest and we will leave at dawn. At this point, I'm not even sure traveling at night is safe, but luckily, Fastiol is just a day's journey south.
All right.
Aye, sounds good.
Ayomide nods and goes, I will speak with the council and see what measures must be taken beyond having clerics check the border magic. Hopefully.
Start building barricades.
It's actually not a bad idea.
And I suggest really training a lot of the hunters I've been training to get their marksmanship down pat in case something comes crawling their way. Oh, you have these mountains. You could like make outposts along the mountains as watchtowers or something.
I create barricades.
Maybe get some boiling oil.
So we don't have boiling oil, but we'll put watchtowers out. Thank you for your suggestions, Evan.
I am going to take a nap.
Hey, Chisel, good on you.
I am currently dead on my feet.
Yes.
I have like 20 HP.
Hey, you know what, Chisel? How about this? I take a bedroll, just wrap him up into a burrito. Hi, there you go.
Chisel's just having flashbacks. Just no.
For PTSD. No, I'm kidding. Let me make it quick.
I mean, the last time I was wrapped up in a bedroll like a burrito, I almost drowned.
That is true.
And the time before that, he got Beybladed.
We need to stop that.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
At least we stopped using the leash.
We're not blind anymore. It's very
No.
helpful. All right. We need to take a fucking nap.
Hey.
Or I'm probably going to pass out or die, or some weird in between.
Sleep is just a prelogue of death.
Sure, Chisel. Sure.
Okay.
As Chisel just falls over.
And for some reason, when Chisel said that, my mind went to like the star from the Super Mario Brothers movie. That child voice saying the most oppressed shit.
Oh yeah.
The only reason why we're alive is to die.
Life is pain. Anyways, moving on. The three of you and Shrub all return back to your guest housing for the evening, getting a full night's sleep. Everyone go ahead and take a long rest, so regain any HP, spell slots, and things like that for you guys. The next morning, when you leave, when you gather up towards like the entrance / exit of the Golden Sanctum, sort of cropping in the mountains, you meet with Venkashale, who looks a little bit better than when he did the night before. Clearly, he's still tired from everything. But there's at least at the same time, like, not much he can do about it at the moment. So he just kind of like sits there, I guess. Like he has like dark circles under his eyes. And he seems a little jumpy, which is understandable considering everything that happened yesterday.
So did technically get cursed.
Hey, mate. You got some sleep there, did you?
Yeah, I've got some sleep. It's just
Then why doesn't it look like we've slept for 3 days?
the Golden Sanctum, when something like this happens in a place that has been blessed by the gods, it is anxiety-inducing for one like me, a man of faith.
Hey.
So it is a bit more along the lines of me just simply doing what I can.
Hey.
Chisel just slowly raises the hammer. Do you need a nap?
Not that kind of nap, Chisel.
I'll
That
be
might
fine.
work on Redwood. Probably not going to work on him.
Works on you too, so I'm 3 for 3.
I'll be fine, thank you.
I think you mean 2 for 2 there.
Shrub,
I don't know how to count.
Shrub, walks out with you, Redwood, and goes, "Hey, boss?
Yeah?
I don't like this.
Like what?
Any of this. I mean, I understand that's probably, like, a fair thing to say at this point, but, like,
I'm surprised you waited this long.
there's
That
something...
is so vague, you might as well be telling me you don't like the flavor of the floor.
It does taste bad. I will say that.
Why would... Shrub, why did you eat... Why did you lick the floor?
You drank food there the other day. That's not my fault.
Hey, fair enough.
Ancient
But
stone
what?
doesn't... Ancient
No,
stone
you know-
doesn't taste good.
I'll
Shrub,
defend
what is
Shrub
going
here.
on?
Shrub
What is
tries...
going on?
Shrub tries to take a minute to find a way to explain it, and goes... The magic in the sanctum is fine. The barrier around the temple is fine. I mean, I'm sure they're going to check it for cracks and stuff just in case, but... Don't get it.
Hey, I mean, if you ask me, there's 2 options. Either A, what the fuck is going on is getting stronger than whatever is protecting this place, or B, a fucker is in here who did it on purpose.
Shrub nods and goes, "Probably. I don't know, but whatever it is, feeling uneasy, boss."
Well,
Also, this strange individual that we may have to potentially fight to prove ourselves in order to get them to help us, not sure.
I thought this par for the course.
we
We
fought
have fought.
people, we fought monsters, we fought the undead. I'm sure we can handle a person.
We've even fought death before.
We fought a dragon.
I mean, we fought undead. I don't think we fought actual death yet, Chisel.
Redwood almost died and came back.
That's
I
like the
mean,
same.
Technically fought death.
That
didn't-
wasn't a fight. That was more
flailing.
struggle.
An angry argument with his godmom.
You don't know about that.
Just
I mean, I'm just gonna assume, considering that you seemed pretty pissed when you woke up. Actually, no, I do know about that. You told me about that.
and you weren't that
Nobody
quiet.
else.
Redwood,
Well-
I'm be honest, sometimes you're talking asleep.
The more you know. He's right. You do. Just a little bit. Sometimes you sing. It's really weird.
Casey's face of realization of the hand over the mouth.
Casey even is like, oh my god, I didn't think that he would.
This is a major revelation for Casey.
It's just acting. It's just like, oh god, what have I said?
You don't want to know. Anyways.
What you want to do to a certain someone. Anyways, let's go.
Okay, it's not like
Oh,
that.
he says that when he's awake anyways. What's really juicy is the things he
No,
doesn't say when
no,
he's
no,
awake.
no! Stop it! Shut the fuck up! I will hit you with a slab of concrete.
Ven Kashali just kind of like.
That is a threat you've said before.
Ven Kashali just kind of like stands there like. Okay.
Don't you judge us. You missed us.
Missed is a strong word. Can we move on?
Hey, we can walk and talk.
You
I
guys.
have something small I should do before we leave.
Say
Okay.
goodbye to your lover. Go ahead.
Chisel, shut the hell up.
Hmm?
Wait, are you-
never told me?
Are you actually gonna go and see her?
Yes.
What? Seven's lost. Seven has not been paying attention to that subplot. So I.
Chisel,
What?
Chisel, you don't say a goddamn word. We are
I was
just friends. We are just friends.
Alright.
And yet you're going to specifically seek her out to say goodbye.
We are good
Mm.
friends.
They were very good
How
friends.
good though?
They were roommates.
They were roommates.
Moving
For a
on.
night.
Anyways. So, actually, Chisel and Theron, if you could bounce to the back room for me.
Okay.
Go.
Apparently, I'm being forced to roleplay this.
Brian,
Go.
So, we're gonna actually change the music for this moment. Hold on.
Yeah, it's dark in here going to talk to the baker.
There's a lot of creepy music here.
We have a lot of creepy stuff.
All right. You go to the bakery. Elena, the half-orc girl, the half-orc, half-elf girl, stands there, kind of like she's outside. Like she has got like a bundle of wood under her arm, and she sees you and she smiles, her small tusks peeking out from her lip, and goes, "Redwood, is everything all right?"
Not really. That we had misfortune going to investigate the corpse last night, and well, to put it straight, I need to travel again.
Oh.
Past few days have been wonderful. I know we weren't going to do anything official, and I don't do this very often, but it was very nice to get to know you. If I can, I will absolutely make my way back here, but I do not know if or when that can happen.
She nods and goes, well, either way, you are always welcome back. And I do hope to see you again. It was nice having an extra set of hands at the bakery.
It was nice to do something that didn't have my life on edge. Something, well, simpler. Not that I'm calling what you simple. Just
No.
just I was attacked by an owl bear making a loaf of bread. It's been great to get to know you, to have a calm few days, and thank you. Thank you for giving me that.
She nods and goes, I know that your journey so far has been nothing but perilous. Before you go, I want to give you something. And she quickly ducks back inside the bakery, takes a few moments, comes back out, and puts around your neck a leather corded necklace that's braided to make it more durable and has a small rectangular stone tablet on it with a special carving. It goes, before my parents settled here, they actually came from further south. Further south. They basically said this was their good luck charm, and they passed it to me, and I wanted to give it to you for future luck. When and if you come back, you're always welcome to help me at the bakery again. There's always a place for new people here at the Golden Sanctum. Although maybe one day we can travel together. I've always wanted to see life outside the mountains. And Shrub just goes, he's really experienced with that. And even though...
Shrub, she can't understand you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, I'm very sure you would love it. There's a lot out there. I tend to focus on the negative, but I'm sure you would love it.
She smiles at that and goes, I don't want to keep you. Just...
Yes,
She's going to... She lightly grabs your sleeve, kisses your cheek, and goes, just stay alive, okay?
Well, I'll do my damnedest. No, I should probably make it back before Chisel has some harsher words or a hammer for my kneecaps. Stay safe, Elena. And Redwood turns to leave.
She watches you leave. The item that she has given you allows you to re-roll a d20 roll for any ability score, saving throw, or attack roll. That's a natural 1 twice. And the name of this item is Elena's Lucky Stone.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna, if you could be so kind as to go and get the chuckle fucks.
All right. Peeking in on the stream.
have returned.
They have returned. Chisel 7, Redwood and Shrub return from visiting the bakery in Elena. You see that he now wears a new sort of necklace on his neck that he quickly tucks under his shirt. Shrub kind of gives you a look, Chisel, that's like, not a word. Not a word. And then...
How much perception? Okay, yes, I haven't noticed that. Hey, Redwood, what's with the necklace?
Come on, man!
Did you go
I
and
just
buy
collect
that?
knickknacks from everywhere I go. I went to grab a stone from the garden. Just, to keep track of my journey.
Roll me deception. 7, roll me insight.
Yeah.
May I roll insight as well?
Sure. Okay, you know so
Chisel knew where I was going.
Chisel knows that this is clearly, most likely, something from Elena. For its purpose and why she gave it to him, you don't know. 7, you just see it and you're like, okay, that makes sense. Because you guys have been picking things up everywhere you go. Like, it doesn't really necessarily matter.
I'm surprised it took me this long to notice, but alright.
Well, you're mostly focused on something to kill, so I don't blame you.
Fair enough.
Venkashale looks to all of you and goes, are we ready? We want to get out of here within the next 10 minutes.
Yes.
Off to a new adventure, possibly a new hunt.
So you all...
Honestly,
A new
if we're
giant
going to the-
fucking monster.
And if we're actually going to the teacher of Helena, actually, this might be good for you, Redwood, with all your magic-y stuff.
Speaking of magic, my clothes are a little tight.
What do you mean?
You got your vision back. I don't see how you could... What?
You know how...
You eat that much food up in the mountains, and then you come to here and you get larger.
No, I'm not fat. I don't think I have any sort of fat on my body. No, I'm talking about height-wise.
You do look like you're wearing shorter pants. And there's a lot going on in places where they shouldn't be.
I know, but these are the only pants I have
Venkashale
worthy of snowy weather.
Venkashale sighs and goes, hold on, I've got something for you. And hands you pulls from his pulls from his pack an extra pair of pants. He goes, you may need to roll up the legs because you're still short compared to me, but these are probably going to do it for you.
Why are you taller?
Magic? I don't know.
What were you going to say?
Or maybe he's just finally growing.
Am I in a party with all elves again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are the shortest one here.
No, Shrub is.
Shrub does not count. She is a fox.
She has her...
I guarantee you, if she stood up on her hind legs, she would probably be at least an inch or two taller than you. Because of the ears alone.
And I grew 7 inches.
Says a lot about you, doesn't it? So, Chisel quickly changes into a pair of pants that will fit him mostly, rolling up the ankles.
Just all the way to the chest.
Keeping them firmly in place. And you all trek out in your winter wear, which you were sweating in originally, but now you're back out in the snow and you're just like, holy crap, it's cold.
Mend the sleeves back on.
This is definitely one of those things where it's like, you all are glad that you still kept your winter wear.
How does 7 not have frostbite on it?
7? That is a good fucking question. I'm gonna need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Well, also, to judge the severity, that was born and raised in the
Yes.
wilderness.
Wearing sandals in 3 feet of snow. Open-toed. You take...
And honestly, pants that does not reach
They don't
anywhere below his shins.
Yeah, they don't.
Don't worry about it.
I need you to take 6 cold damage for me as you're trekking through this 3 feet of snow. Venkashale looks to you and goes, "Dude, we gotta get you winter clothes. Like, we've gotta get
Nope.
you something warm."
I'm gonna wait until he asks.
Okay. Is this a pride thing for him? Like, is that the reason that he
Yes,
doesn't...
it has been for the past 3 months.
Okay.
I think that it's stupid that he's not prepared, but he's 7.
I will say, at least, I'm going to, if you don't get winter clothes, Thevin, I will continue to prompt you to roll me Constitution saving throws. The DC will be 15. If you do not make it, you will continue to take a D8's worth of damage, which will increase with every hour.
Okay.
So, put some proper shoes on your goddamn feet or your toes are falling off. You all continue on your way. Thevin, you're trudging cold, wet feet. No sleeves. Fur mantle is fine on the neck. It's keeping that warm at least. Your stubborn pride is winning out. By God, you're gonna do this.
Honestly, it's not even pride, it's obliviousness. It's like, I'm fine. My toes have been purple before.
Bro. You all continue. The journey to Fastial is about, again, a day's journey, so go ahead and mark off 2 rations from your equipment, which you had restocked while you were in the Golden Sanctum. You all arrive. I will need you to make me another 3 Constitution saves.
6, 8, and 8.
All right.
How much damage is he going to take?
He's going to take 5d8 worth of damage here.
He's gonna take that last point of damage and then flump over in the snow.
Yeah, 5.
Something doesn't feel right.
Thevin, don't go to
Ankle
sleep, but it's so cozy down here.
I'm so tired.
I don't feel the ache in my bones when they're all frozen.
It's just a giant ice pack. It'll be fine. All right.
Really, it helps with my arthritis.
That is.
Now I'm kind of wondering what the age composition of this group is.
I think we did this earlier. We're all pretty much pre-teens. And
I'm
human
27 back to 18.
years. Yeah.
Oh no.
Like 31
We are-
cold damage for me, Thevin.
Alright.
What's your health looking at?
I'm at 28 HP.
You wanna be stupid? You're going to get stupid prizes. As you're moving through, like, everyone can kind of see that Thevin is turning pale. His lips are purple. He's shivering, his teeth are chattering. And Venkashali looks to you, Thevin, and goes, Thevin, what? Do you know how you look right now? Are you aware of how, like, bad? You look like you're about to keel over from the cold.
Oh, I did.
Yes. And he couldn't...
Honestly, he looks like one of those snow soldier things that we fought. What was that? 4 months ago?
That's in Cure Wounds. You cast Cure Wounds, regain 7 hit points.
23.
Oh,
I cast it at 5th level.
23 hit points. Why is it only so 7 healing, though?
Oh,
That's for the original spell. The 16 above it is the additional.
Oh, okay. You gain 23 hit points back.
Yep.
So you're not
Oh.
looking as bad, but I think this is the moment where you realize you're like, I need to get warmer clothes when we get into Fastio.
Mm-hmm.
Because god damn it,
Here,
Honestly,
a
cold
good-
shrub.
honestly, with
Wait,
how many
buddy.
pelts you have, I'm kind of surprised you haven't made clothing by now.
I normally say the clothing making to the clothing makers. I don't really know how to sew.
you
So-
you get handed Shrub 7, and immediately your fingers start to warm, leaving a tingling sensation behind as she goes.
Wait.
And she's like, it's like she's in your hands with her legs out like this. Like, there's a better way to pass me around, people. I can jump onto the back of his
Wait.
neck.
I here you go,
Wait,
Strobe.
7. You travel the world and you hunt things, but you don't know how to sew.
Eh?
What kind of hunter
least-
doesn't know how to sew?
At least not sew proper clothing, I should say. I can make traps and things like those natures, but not pants.
We
Sewing is
noticed.
a major survival skill.
Which
North
makes
Wales.
I knew
everyone
how to sew while
which
I
makes
was
everyone
blind.
wonder how 7 has survived up until this point, doesn't it?
With clothing that looks like it's been sewn by himself.
Most of 7's clothing has probably got several holes that has
Oh,
been
yeah.
mended through redwood over time.
I mean, yeah, I can patch things like this one right here as he points to one on like near his shoulder. But I can't like make what you're wearing right now.
Okay, this thread work is a disaster piece.
This is also when redwood becomes a professional
Seamstress.
seamster.
Seamster.
Give me a fucking shirt.
Hey,
no,
alright.
no.
Oh, we're out in the wilderness.
Oh, not! Van Kashali's like, no, can we get to town first before you start stripping in the middle of nowhere, in the freezing cold? Your toes are about to fall off.
They're just purple.
It's... And,
Actually, most of me is purple nowadays, ain't it?
that is so bad.
They're just now more purple.
No, there's a difference between pale and purple. Purple means there is, like, no blood flow.
Redwood, how has he survived this
Purple
long?
means excess of blood. Means blood pooling. White is lack of blood.
White is like blood, okay. So
Redwood,
you're just...
purple
how has
is
he
from the
survived this long?
That's
Healing magic.
that's a good fucking question.
Before he's met us, how has he survived this long?
I'm gonna
White.
lean down the chisel. I'm fairly sure most of his exploits are lies, and he spent most of his life in the Greenlit Hills.
Hmm?
Spite is what does it.
Spite, absolutely. That has to be it.
Hey,
Or you're married to the
That's
Lady of Luck or something.
I would say you guys have met my sister. You can confirm with her that where we grew up.
Yeah, but that
Yes.
doesn't mean that you, like... I have a feeling that your parents still dressed you in, like, weather-appropriate clothing when you were younger. Like, you didn't just walk out of the womb in, like, sandals.
Well, of course, no one walks out of the womb with sandals.
You know what I mean.
Can we keep going?
Yes, before you guys continue, I will need 7 to take another.
Holding shrub.
He's still...
I am holding shrub.
He's holding Shrub, but he only takes a D8, but you still take an extra 3 points of cold damage. As
Don't
you
I have
all
to make a con save?
Oh, yeah, please do that. Yeah, take
3
that 3
points
points.
damage.
It doesn't matter. Even with advantage, you would have still failed.
The thing is that he is with a fire wizard.
I'm keeping him alive, but I'm waiting for him to ask for help.
Eventually, you all make it to Fastiel.
I'm letting him suffer longer.
You make it to Fastiel. Helen is waiting for you guys there. She's at the edge of town when you guys arrive, and she looks to all of you and goes, "Okay, normal winter wear, normal-ish winter wear. What are
Fox
you
striped
wearing?"
over my shoulders.
It's not, there's not like, the further you guys went in this area because of how close it is to the ocean and the shore, it's not as cold, and there definitely isn't as much snow. the coast is like right there. The Fasteel is like basically almost directly on the beach. But it's still
What
like
is this yellow soil?
stop.
What do you mean
There's
stop?
oh, you meant yellow.
Yeah,
You
he's
actually were talking about the sand.
Yeah.
Yes.
You haven't
well,
seen
Jizzle,
sand
that's-
before, but you know what sand is. You're not that
Yes,
fucking
I
oblivious.
never knew it was
This-
yellow.
This is sand.
Right?
It's the granular rocks between the sea and the land.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ew.
Good to know.
Also, apparently I keep cutting in and out. Hold on. Microphone! Stop it!
Microphone.
Quick, while they're gone, everyone slap Thevin.
Anyways,
I got a hammer. That's much better.
Why?
so, anyways... You all meet Helen, who goes... She's like dressed... She was wearing sort of like lighter clothing when you guys met her at the temple. She's now wearing like fur cloak and mantle, fur-lined gloves and boots, lighter pants, but still meant to keep her warm and stuff like that. Her hair actually, like, what was once like very vibrant green of like grass and vines and stuff is now like dried, kind of like how a plant would be when they were, you know, when it's like winter and fall. And she, like, her skin is lighter from the cold, and she looks to you guys and goes, okay. So, couple of things. There is a sort of, because of things that have been happening with the Blight recently, the village people have this sort of cleansing tradition that you just have to do in order to come in. It's unfortunately something that makes them feel a little better about it. Just do it, please. And
Hey, sounds good.
my master is waiting in her home further off in this direction. And she kind of points to the west and goes, by the way, just a quick tip. I understand that it is warmer here. Do not go swimming in the waters. If you end up in the water, pray that you're no longer in there than 5 minutes. You will
Hey,
freeze to
sounds
death.
good.
We need to get you, and she points to you, Seven. Proper fucking shoes.
Hey, that's what everyone's been saying. He says dead serious with a shrub wrapped around his neck.
It's a whole ordeal with him. We're waiting for him to break. If he's not going to break, he's going to suffer, knock unconscious, and that's his own fault.
What
I'm
is
taking bets with Shrub.
you guys just see her sigh and goes, all right. If he's going to be stubborn and wait, then he's going to be stubborn and wait.
I don't know what you mean by stubborn. I just don't feel it.
It's because you have no feeling in anything.
Poke,
That
poke.
is called the beginning of frostbite, Seven.
What's frostbite?
That is what happens when your body, in order to survive, starts causing you to lose limbs to keep circulation going in the more important parts of your body, like your organs.
You ever noticed that you've lost 3 fingers?
He
I
has
haven't
not
lost my
lost any
fingers.
fingers, no. He hasn't gotten that
Or
far.
toes?
He hasn't lost any toes yet.
Have you seen anyone who has lost fingers or toes during winter?
Devin kind of narrows his
Why?
eyes at Helen, processing what she said, processing the consequences in a series of events. As the gears begin to turn, it's like, oh, yeah, that would be
Devin,
bad.
If your
Why is
fingers
he
fall off due to frostbite, you won't be able to shoot things.
Right, that's obvious. Yeah, I know that.
Why is there smoke coming out of his ears?
I think he's actually using his brain for once without using his stupid potion thingies.
Well, Lisa's keeping him warm.
Anyways,
Or what is Devin's intelligence score?
what is Steven's intelligence score?
So his intelligence is a 16, but his wisdom's a 13.
Okay.
You have a higher intelligence and wisdom than me.
You
I
have
don't like it.
You have a decent fucking wisdom and intelligence, and you choose to act stupid.
9 is a commoner, basically.
He's gone. He walked away.
I had to grab something real quick.
Devin just
Anyways,
kind of look at it, yeah. And also looks at his own clothes, seeing how patched up they are. I guess it is time to get new stuff.
I have things that I can give to you in terms of clothing. You'll be fine. You just need to survive the 5-minute walk to my master's house.
Hey, that'll be fine.
You all follow Helen into Fastial. There's this sort of what looks kind of like a Japanese-esque arch here off to like the left. If anyone's played Diablo, was it Diablo 4? That's got like there's like a portion when you're trying to get into one of the main cities where you have to do some sort of like cleansing ritual for sin and stuff like that. It's kind of similar to that. Stone platform, archway, fire in the center, but it's glowing in interesting color. It's not red and orange and stuff like that. It's a white fire, with like tints of blue peeking up towards like the middle of it. The wood that they're burning in it specifically is like a birch wood, so it's like white and light in color. Obviously there's like snow in the area, but you all sort of stand. It's like a stone brazier essentially, and Helen approaches and goes, "All right." She pulls out a small little knife and goes, "I'm going to need a thumb from each of you. It's just a prick of blood. I'm not trying to."
Removed?
No, a prick of blood. I'm not cutting your thumb
Oh.
off.
Already ahead of you. Takes
Okay.
arrow prick. Hey.
So you dip some blood into the fire. It hits.
I thought there was some demented stuff going on here for a minute.
No. You prick your finger and the blood drips. Give me shit. Hold on. I forgot. I need to grab the list of the divinity here. Hold on.
I wonder if Thevin's AIDS blood affects the fire.
It's a cleansing fire. It just wraps over Devin, causing him to burn alive.
Thevin drops a couple of drops of blood in the fire goes out.
Got a lot of shit that I have to keep track of.
Yeah, I'm not.
Good, you didn't hear any of that.
I'm gonna hear it later when I listen back on this. Might as well tell me now.
That Thevin's corrupted
Celestial
blood.
fire plus corrupted blood.
The cocktail that is Thevin's bloodstream.
Your blood isn't corrupted. Not anymore, ever since Barun left.
He's a
yeah,
lycanthrope still.
He's a
Lycanthrope
lycanthrope, but that doesn't
And a
mean
blood hunter.
he's a lycanthrope and
And
a
all
blood
of-
hunter, but that doesn't mean that he is corrupted.
And he's got AIDS.
He
We don't know
doesn't
that.
have AIDS. Oh my god.
Question: how can I have AIDS? I've never had sex. Ah.
I never lose.
I lose my virginity if I won't lose my virginity because I never lose.
Well, now we know if Devin's gotten the birds and the bees talk, which he hasn't, apparently.
Your next hunting quest will be hunting some bitches.
Why are we hunting female wolves?
Bruh. Anyways. If anyone would like to go ahead and roll me a religion check here.
Hey!
Hey.
Nice. Alright. 15 for Chisel, 13 for Thevin, 20 for Redwood. You see you all see a couple of symbols sort of etched. You see one etched on the front and one etched more towards the back. One of the symbols you're actually familiar with, because Van Kashale actually has it embroidered on his cloak, that being the one of the god Zethos. Or as he would probably be more known to you as the Star Mariner, god of medicine, knowledge, the day and night cycle. So you see like a sun, like half of a sun next to half of a crescent moon, with a single like 4-pointed star, and then you also see, Katune, goddess of secrets, lies, disease, and storms. You see a symbol of what looks to be a mouth with stitchings in it, which is her normal depiction. Or like one of her usual symbols next to like a storm cloud. Seven and Chisel, you would know this. Redwood, you would. You know that when two gods are depicted on something like this, you know that it is relation to having two aspects, like one aspect from both gods working together in some sort of rite or ritual. You think that this is probably because of the combination between disease and medicine being at play here through whatever is happening in this brazier. As you each prick your finger, the blood sizzles upon contact with the fire and the wood. When it hits the wood doesn't stain red or anything like that. You could tell if there was like discoloration even in the fire. In fact, the fire doesn't even look like it's consuming the wood. It just kind of, it's like burnt at the edges, but a good portion of it still remains. There is definitely magic at play here in some way, shape, or form. But the blood doesn't stain it. In fact, I'm not even sure you think it touches the wood completely as this happens. And you feel for a moment any diseases or ailments that you all may have had in this moment. Like if you were feeling a little under the weather, that's gone now. Just the moment that the blood makes in contact with the fire disappears.
I'm going to regret this.
You can sense pertinent fear, sense of magic, and
Flashbang.
This feels important to learn.
You look at the flame. The flame itself and the symbols carved into it and the wood emit an aura of magic. Mostly divine. In terms of what schools in specific, what is healing magic normally? Evocation, abjuration, divination? Definitely not divination. Is it?
Evocation.
Okay, evocation. So it's like evocation magic that you see here. Evocation mixed with abjuration. The wood specifically having abjuration magic in it. Because abjuration is protection magic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I use this to potentially glean a spell?
Protection.
It's a druid spell.
You're literally...
What detection of
Lesser
poisons
restoration.
and disease?
This is actually not lesser restoration.
It's greater restoration.
It is a mixture of greater restoration and like a minor shield spell of some kind.
All the spells that me as the wizard thought I could glean from this are all druid spells that I already own.
Huh?
Oh, I know this.
Venkashali.
Okay.
Venkashali. Helen nods and goes, "We had a druid do this."
Fantastic. Great.
Sorry to
I can't see.
You did stare directly both into a fire and get flashbanged by the magic of said fire. So it's like,
I know you call me a dumbass a lot, but that's a
I was
dumbass
trying
thing
to learn
to do.
protection magic. This is different.
Uh-huh.
What-
And
I'm
what you
not
get
at risk
for
of
it?
losing my fingers.
Aye, but you're at risk of losing your eyes. And while Trizzle could make it work, I doubt you could.
He's behind you.
Anyways, moving on. Helen looks to all of you and goes, now that that's done, actually Shrub will also need to do it, unfortunately. Shrub goes, what?
I don't know if Shrub actually has
Don't
blood.
Shrub bleed?
Yeah, I bleed. I still have a flesh form.
Huh.
How have you not noticed her bleeding when you shot an arrow at her?
I did get turned into a bloody pulp when you did that transformation down south with like your sister's tribe. I don't know if you remember
Oh,
that.
To be
yes.
fair, I don't
You
remember
beat
that
the
at
hell
all.
out of Shrub in Flexath, and I
Yeah,
threw a displacer beast at you.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
Well, you don't, but it still happened. I was still very much messed up.
Okay, but
Drum,
I don't know the celestial interactions that could occur if we were to do that.
Let's find out. Picks up Shrub.
No,
Holds her by the fire.
no.
Helen,
know.
We need to get to the village anyway.
Helen is just gonna gently take Shrub's paw and like lightly put like the tiny cut in it, enough that bleeds it, and it drops into the fire. Sizzles, nothing happens.
I see. It was fine.
You guys are idiots. If there was some sort of problem between fucking Ithis and Katune, you could have just leveled a city.
Well, that didn't happen.
Why would Ithis, goddess of riddles and stuff, have issues with the goddess of
Of
lies?
secrets and lies.
Yes. Why would she have
A
an
riddle
issue-
is not a lie. A riddle is the truth wrapped in an enigma. A lie is just straight up a falsehood.
But I don't see them having issues with each other.
Or maybe the god of knowledge, and the riddles keep knowledge secret. And so, fun person who gives knowledge for free. I don't know. I don't know the god's business. I just know who they are.
At this point during his rambling,
Storm.
Evan's just holding
fire.
Shrub like a baby, kind of scruffling her belly.
I have dealt with magic that has made people fly, has made me invisible, has created multiples of myself. Magic is incredibly wild. The magic of the gods is even more so, and you're meddling with things that potentially ruin all the lives.
Redwood. Venkashali's got his arms crossed and he goes, if two gods had an issue with each other, they would not be put in a ritual together.
No. Zithos and Katune. Fine. Yes, I understand the disease and medicine thing. But if Ithis is mixed into that and there's a negative reaction there, that's a whole problem for all of us.
Shrub,
Aye, but didn't you also already do your blood and it was fine?
I'm a person.
Aye, but you are also following this code.
I don't have any of that actual blood in me. It's straight up just my soul.
You sure about that?
Shrub goes, I don't think Ithis has... I think you're overthinking this a little bit too much, boss.
I work with magic and caution, and and if you don't act with caution, that's how you get it with a bow that blows people up.
Ellen just
And I work in blood.
He's got a point, but I also have to say I do think you're overreacting just a tiny bit.
It's a future rule. If I'm having caution about something, there's a reason to have caution. Don't just ignore me.
Aye, you're being delusional. Got it.
I'm gonna ignore you. Anyways, we gotta get moving. Before your friend freezes to death standing out here.
I have Shrub.
Speaking of, roll me a con save with advantage because you are holding Shrub here.
18.
You don't take any damage. You
I need to leave this group. They're all a bunch of idiots who are going to get themselves killed.
And I do.
You are fantastic, Chisel. You are not the problem.
You all walk with Helen and Venkashale. Shrub is in your arms, Steven. She kind of shifts around to like rest on your neck again because warmer. You kind of actually, I think you actually, in order to keep your fingers warm, hold her by her legs as well, just kind of like a hunter carrying like a,
like a
backpack.
backpack or something.
No, that would have you carry dead game.
Yeah, that's exactly how you hold Shrub. You're like, oh, you're nice and warm, and she's like, I'm not. Can you not hold me like I'm dead?
Well, if what Helen said was true, and that my fingers are gonna fall off if they remain purple for too long, then I kinda need to hold on.
Okay, well, I guess that's fair. It just feels weird.
You should get
Sorry.
actual fingered gloves next.
I'm not sure how well that would work with a bow. Is the problem?
Hey, that's gonna be a little tricky.
What if it's a flap where you could take out the fingers while using a bow, but you could put them back when you're done?
Ah, that's clever. I like that.
Actually, I used to have like gloves that had like this where the fingers were off. There was a flip cover to be.
I did too. I used to have those when I was younger.
So did I. How do you think I got the idea?
I just braced the cold.
You're.
Oh my God, Seven!
There's a reason.
See,
There's a reason he's so close. Like why he plays this character so fucking well. You
it's
all.
just me.
There is a. So you guys continue onward. You see this. Like the homes here are kind of like. They're made of like stone boulders and like hardened mud and clay, made to like insulate the heat and keep things warm on the inside in the winter, and with like sort of, I wouldn't say not like is thatch, not thatched roofing, but there's like wooden logs on top that creates sort of like this flat platform. And you see like some has smoke coming out from like a hole in the top to keep like circulation and stuff like that in order for smoke to leave the home instead of suffocating everybody inside. There's like wood doors here in a sense, but it seems that they're not like push and pull like the ones in the Golden Sanctum. These seem to be more like a sliding situation. There's currently covers on the windows to keep the cold out, because glass isn't a thing necessarily yet. And eventually you guys make it to a home that is definitely out of place in all of these ones. Like, all these houses have different sizes depending on the size of the family that lives within them. But this is, like, straight up just a house. Like, this house is made of proper wood with, like, proper roofing and shingles and all this other stuff. And, like, there's even, like, a weird sort of patch of, like, a radius around the home that's, like, vibrant green and like growing flowers and bushes as it, like, and it's very clearly not from this world. Judging from the looks of it and from what you've seen so far, you can actually go ahead, everyone who wants to, make me a nature check here.
Not sure.
What's wild is I don't have proficiency with religion or nature.
Neither do I.
And I
But somehow,
do, and
I get the
both did
20s.
better.
7, you have no idea. You think that's just some weird funky magic going on. Chisel and
Boy,
Redwood.
is this some fey bullshit again?
It is some fade bullshit. You guys look and you see there's like actually you can kind of see like a bit of a rise in the dirt, as if someone literally just scooped up this house and placed it here. And Helen is like, all right, couple of things about my master. She's a bit eccentric, as standard for Fae. Also, whatever you do, say nothing about her horns or her general appearance.
We've met some fey abominations before. There shouldn't be anything to worry about.
Well,
That's
You know
not
what?
nice to say.
you know what?
Have
I will let you see for yourselves. If she opens the door and lets you in, and the minute that you guys stepped in, you are hit with the smell of herbs and root and earth and all this other things. And you hear like this clanking of like metal against metal, of like pots and cooking utensils, and you hear like this elderly woman's voice kind of going like, and it's going here and that goes here. And this goes here. And Helen, is that you? And
Not quite.
from around the corner, in what you can assume to be some sort of cooking area, or a kitchen, as it will become known in the modern day, an older woman, I would say sort of Mother Gothel-esque in terms of age, just like dark hair, but like it's got those streaks of gray in it. Don't be weird.
What? It's just, I have a question.
What?
Mother Gothel was like thousands of years old.
I
Faye
mean, it's
bullshit.
Faye.
Hey, it's Faye. Never mind.
Elf.
You all
Thousands of years. Not that much.
It is
You-
to me, okay?
you all are like, you see that this woman's got two sets of horns. Ones are like towards more her temple that curl at the sides, but they're like thick and big, and they're like encased,
Like a ram's.
kind of like a ram's, but on top it's more like a like antelope ears, or like antlers, not ears, antlers that kind of jut out and up and back, encased in like this wild curly hair that has like obvious spots of like gray and stuff in it. She's got like the classic older person laugh lines. You see she's got various markings, and it's not like paint. It's like as if it's embedded into her skin in this moment. As you look at her eyes, both of them, one is green, one is blue. She's got like this she's wearing fabric clothing, which is something that you don't normally see often. Most clothing you guys see are typically made of like leather and things like that, or fur. She's wearing like proper fabric clothing, high boots. She's got like various feathers and things decorating her like necklaces on her neck, and she's got like other bits and bobs. Like she's got silver and gold rings and like layered on her horns in various spots depending on like the size. You see like a leather cord with like beads and stuff hanging out from behind her ear that dangles down. You see when she smiles, she's got like this sort of like shark teeth type thing going on, where it's like they're all sharp, but like the canines are longer and sharper. She's like, she's a little bit more on the like the tan side, but she's still decently pale. And she looks to everyone and goes, "Welcome! Hello, I didn't know I would be having visitors today."
Hi.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Redwood of
Velico Trevaux.
Yes.
And you are Seven Winterfell, and you
Aye.
are Chisel Havard, and that is Shrub. And of course, I've met Vedka Shale before.
Well,
Did Helen
it
already
seems
tell
on
you
the
about
back
those?
foot here.
Oh no, I knew that you were coming.
No.
And how are you
I'm
not
simply
expecting
that.
guests?
Well, I
That-
mean, I was expecting. So here's the thing: I was expecting you all to be at least an hour later than you currently are. That's all.
Well, like I said, it seems we're on the back foot. You seem to know our identities, and we do not seem to know yours.
I need to find it really quickly. Should have had it pulled up, but I
The character you had a 10-minute long explanation on, you do not remember their name?
I am great at giving descriptions. I am horrid with names. Well,
It just says king.
yes, that's good. My name is Tori Peardash. It is a pleasure to meet all of you. Tori is in
Right.
Tori and Peardash.
Hey, it's nice to meet you.
Well, it seems you know who we are. Are you also aware of why we're here?
Ah, yes. You want me to go and check out the Golden Sanctum. Not
Aye.
happening.
And are you going? Okay.
Why?
Because they probably can't leave the bubble.
No, that's not it.
They don't want to leave the bubble. It's too cold outside.
It has nothing to do with the bubble. Also, there
Just
is
let her answer.
there is no bubble. This is just... I literally picked up my house with magic and plopped it here on the material plane.
Why?
Convenient? It's easier to open a portal than to... and have all my essentials whenever I plop it into it than have to worry about buying and trading and all these other weird customs that you mortals have to deal about.
So then why can't you help?
Because I don't like the gods.
You
Aye.
live in a city with a protection spell placed by 2 gods at the front door.
Yes. I didn't do the ritual when I came here.
Hey, so you were already like planted the roots, and then the people around you are like, "Hey, what are we gonna do with this?"
Yes.
Hey, I can say that.
I'm still a little lost. How did you pick up your entire house and just...
Magic.
Hey, magic. It's completely different and more powerful than mortal magic. By like leagues. I'm also like 100,000 years old, technically, so.
Right. Alright, so what if you do what we ask you to do, not because the gods need it, but because the mortal realm needs it? And, you know, if the mortal realms goes away, you will no longer have this place, and whatever the fuck is going on with the mortal realms, it might spill over into the Fey realms.
Even if it spills over into the Fey realms, we're more than capable of handling it.
But
Okay.
About the house
We
thing, she
aren't.
probably could just...
your magic is leagues and leagues better than ours. Surely there's something... Just fixing up a barrier spell is not a major problem.
Oh, but it's not a barrier spell. A divine barrier spell is completely different than a Fey barrier spell. I cannot tamper with anything of the magic the gods do, as per an agreement that the Fey courts had with the gods thousands of years ago.
Hey, that's neat. That's not exactly what we're asking you to do.
You're asking me to help the gods, and, well, you're asking me to help people who, as far as I'm concerned, have very, very, very little respect for people of my kind, seeing us as tricksters and mischievous, when really we're all trying to help in some way, shape, or form, and quite frankly, the gods don't like me either.
You in specific, or just
Oh,
you
me,
as
me,
general?
me in specific. You see, allow me to give you a bit of a history lesson for you young minds. Thousands of years ago, when the gods came here to create Umaria and the land that you call home in the material plane, we were here first. The Fey realm is completely separate from the mortal realm. Obviously, there are multiple realms: the divine, material, Fey, and more. And when they came, they were as strong as all of our Fey courts combined. And they wanted us to bend to their will. Now, obviously, we refused. So there was a massive war between the Fey and the Celestial. When that war happened, it left our people in ruin. It took us many generations to rebuild. I, at the time, was on one of the thrones of the Fey court. My job was to keep the stars in order. It was my job to keep an eye on the constellations, the phases of the sun and moon and other planets and everything else. When they...
Has phases?
We'll get that later.
It was my job to keep the balance of the sun and the moon and the stars and everything to do with the celestial bodies. When the gods came, I and several others refused their agreement. We didn't want to worship the gods in any way, shape, or form. That was not us. We were self-sufficient. We had our own magic that's been here longer than they have. But they still demanded it, and that rubbed me the wrong way. We were willing to give them the freedom to do whatever the hell they wanted, and they still wanted control, and that's not something I take very lightly. Not only that, but when the gods came, they took my stars. Essentially, they took my throne. I don't want anything to do with them because they believe themselves to have the right to claim things that was never theirs to begin with. I'm not the only one who feels this way. There are several other Fae who had positions within the courts and lost them because the gods demanded them, and which we unfortunately gave away in order to stop the war through a treaty. Now, they gave something in return, telling us about how to give our magic to certain individuals should we deem them worthy of it, and yada yada yada. But it's hard. I don't want anything to do with them, because by meddling with what once was mine, it becomes a slight upon the gods. And I would very much need to rely on what you all consider to be divine magic in order for me to do what I need to do in order to help you people. So I'm sorry, but I can't. And I won't.
And we won't push.
You are very quiet because you're far away from your mic.
It's kind of sad because that's how far it is away. It can't go closer unless I move closer.
You're good.
And we won't force you on that.
Even if all of reality is at stake?
All of
Possibly?
your reality is at stake.
Then at least tell us what we can do. You seem to be all-knowing. You seem to want to help, but refuse to actually help. So there must be some sort of bargain that could be struck, or something that you are going to tell us to do anyway. Either you have instruction for us, or we have wasted our time.
Yeah, that would kind of suck.
Tori narrows her eyes at you, Redwood. 1 second. She narrows her eyes at you and approaches and goes, "You're connected to the goddess of fire. How interesting."
That is not the reason I am here.
No, but I'm sure it's influenced. Look, I don't have a problem with specifically Ithis per se, but she knows not to meddle, and where she isn't supposed to meddle. Sorry. I can point you in the right direction, but in terms of helping you and aiding you, that is out of my hands.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page. That's what we're asking.
Ellen is just kind of awkwardly standing off to the side, watching this exchange with her arms crossed, leaning against the wall. Venkashale is standing by her, looking a little wary and paranoid.
Devin kind of looks over to Ven, gets his attention real quick, and just nods, like, way outside.
Venkashale nods and steps outside. The woman is what you can assume to be a witch of some kind at this point. Looks to all of you and goes, "There is, along the coast, a cave. Within the cave is a very old sort of set of ruins that I frequent from time to time. It will provide you some answers, and from there you can put the pieces together yourself."
Hey, cave on the coast. Got it. As Devin gives a thumbs up.
You are welcome to stay within my home and rest. I have plenty of space. But anything to do with this blight and the gods and everything else, count me out of it. She nods and goes upstairs. You hear the creaking of old wood. And she disappears as you hear a door close. Once she's gone, Helen looks to all of you and goes, I am sorry, I had no idea about this.
It's not your fault. She's her own person. With a little bit of pride to her, I would say.
Says the most prideful person talking.
Hey, I think I've said this before. It's not pride, it's obliviousness.
I think it's a bit of pride, too.
It's a bit of pride.
That's what you guys think.
Mr. I like to hunt the bigger game.
That is a pride thing.
Yeah,
I wasn't talking about just little bits. I'm talking about out of the three of us, you're the most prideful.
Helen looks to you, and specifically Redwood, and goes, I'm sorry. I didn't think that she would have any sort of reaction to that. She's unpredictable. Always has been, always will be. And I think that's just Fae nature.
I think it's a little hypocritical that the men must perish because of the gods they are not forced, but definitely persuaded to be under. My connection is not my choice. My decision as a man is my own.
I understand that. And I'm sure she does too. It's just, I think there's more than she's telling in terms of what really happened all those years ago. Well, you all go and investigate. I think I'm going to try and do some snooping while I'm here.
Hey, before that, clothes thing.
Right! Clothes.
I don't want to lose my fingers and toes.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Right, yes.
Mark this down in the history books. 7 asked for
Finally broke.
Hold on a second.
I keep saying, it's not as bad as you guys make it out to be.
It is.
Why revivify in the chat?
He died.
Just in case he dies.
Guys, close.
I'm at 48 HP. I'm fine.
No, I think if you're asking for help, you're on the brink of death, my guy.
Helen.
No, so
Helen.
Devin has never put together that he could lose fingers and stuff from the cold. Helen told him that. He thinks through it for once in his life, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that would be bad."
Thank you. I'm sorry. Helen goes off to a side room and comes back with clothing for you. It's not your typical leathers and furs. There is like a fur mantling and stuff like that on it, but it's more fabric, kind of like what Tori was wearing, and it's clear that she probably like just yoinked something from somewhere and was like, "This is warm enough," and just like hands it to you. Big coat, thick pants with like wool, fur-lined boots, fur-lined gloves, and like kind of like archery gloves in the way that the 2 fingers that you use to pull back a bowstring can like flip open to provide better gripping, along with the thumb. So you have that as well, so that way you can still keep those fingers covered without having to worry about them freezing off. But she basically...
Now with all this thicker gear on, he's like, "This feels weird to move in."
One of those cats in a fucking shirt.
in a vest, just
flops over.
Why is
Would
it
you
making
rather-
that sound as fabric brushes against fabric?
Would you rather be missing fingers or toes, or have to move weird till you get used to it?
I'm just kind of silent as he keeps moving around, stepping around, making weird steps, moving his arms.
Your boots are also like sturdier than the rest of the party's boots as well, because like these are proper, like quote unquote modern boots. So like you're wearing more advanced like gear and stuff for the weather than everybody else is. So technically, at the moment, you are the warmer one out here.
Mm-hmm. I feel like since there are like more sturdier boots, they kind of clack on the floor a little bit. It's like these shoes are loud.
Missing toes or loud boots.
Hey,
You cannot escape this.
Helen goes, I will do some snooping. She's got books and texts and the like here that I can look into. You,
Right.
you all and Van Kashale can all move on and do what you must at the coast. I would suggest doing that, however, due to the nature of the ruins that you are going to, I would suggest waiting until around midnight. I know that's when it will be the coldest, but I've been there, and it's best to do it later in the night.
What are you not telling us?
At the Golden Sanctum, you said, "Oh, let's travel during the day. I don't want to travel at night because how dangerous it can be." And now you're saying, "Oh, hey, these creepy asshole the ruins, go there at night."
I never said anything about traveling during the day. You were talking
No,
to Helen, not
but-
Venkashale. Venkashale's outside.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vin.
We were told to travel during the day because it's dangerous. Now we're being told to travel through the night because it's either dangerous during the day. What is not being said to...
No, it's not that it's safe here during the day. It's the fact that in order to access the magic within the ruins, it needs to be night.
Ah. Well, then can't we just get there, travel through the day, and just wait till nightfall?
Wait, so you know what's at these ruins?
I do. I've been there.
Is it her throne or something?
No, it is
That
not
would
her
make
throne.
sense.
It is not. Although I do believe that it used to be part of her palace at some point.
That would make sense why she would be frequent.
Aye, yeah.
Well, I suggest if you want to be there by night, you start moving now.
Alright then, come on, lads.
As he awkwardly waddles
Yes.
away.
Almost in an A pose, unable to bend his knees all the way. Flap, flap, flap.
And he
Well,
waddled
we'll never
away.
lose him.
Waddle, waddle, waddle. You all step outside. Then Kashale is leaning against the door with his arms crossed. Staff.
Seven turns the corner of that A pose. Oi, then!
What in the world are you wearing?
You got clothes. That's all that
Okay.
matters.
Interesting.
Right, we're leaving now.
Where are we going?
Ruins by the coast, to be there by midnight for magic.
For magic. Okay.
Turns out Hag's no show, but she pointed us in the right direction.
What's a hag?
An ugly son of a bitch.
She wasn't ugly.
She was actually pretty decent looking.
She wasn't ugly.
I
Shrub
just
jumps-
on
Doesn't just mean ugly on the outside.
Ooh.
Aye, see, Redwood gets it.
Shrub
But
jumps up.
she was being human.
Shrub jumps up onto your shoulders, Redwood, and goes, "Lassie, okay?"
I don't like someone who can somehow know everything and know nothing at the same time.
Well, just because they're powerful doesn't mean that they're omnipotent.
And she talked about the stereotype of Fae, of being tricksters and conniving and giving plans and deals, but they just want to be helpful. But she
Background
can't
was
help
not.
us. She refuses to. And instead gives us some workaround way, which is the exact thing that she says that we shouldn't be thinking.
I wonder if she lost something more than her throne. And that's why she's spiteful. We'll never know, and we shouldn't judge people for it.
I mean, we can still judge him, especially holding on to a grudge that's 1,000 years old. And she did say there was a war. People die in war.
That is not the fault of the people who would be killed if we can't do anything.
Aye, that's my point.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but sometimes bitterness festers.
Hence the hag comment.
But that doesn't mean I need to be okay with it.
I'm not saying you should be. I'm just saying maybe think both sides of the coin here.
What's a coin?
Let's just get to this cave.
Aye, yeah, it's just what is a coin?
I don't know. It was just something that popped up in my head. I don't know what a coin is.
Shrub
It
has
just
a
pops up in
nosebleed.
the Google search bar.
But you all begin your journey, and that is actually where we shall leave the episode for today. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Chronicles of Umaria Chapter 1 Shadowfalls. Next week will be an In the Margins session, because we haven't had one of those in a while.
Yee.
And we will see you same time, same place. Hope you had a good one. Good night!
Bye.
Yeah. Seven just flops face first into the snow.